Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India's economy recovered more strongly as compared to the impact it suffered due to the COVID-19 outbreak. He said that when big economies of the world were busy defending themselves during the pandemic, India was engaged in reforms. COVID-19 affected the economies of the entire world, including that of India. But our economy has recovered more strongly than it was halted by the pandemic, Modi said while virtually addressing a gathering after inaugurating Dharam Bhavan, a complex for providing training to job aspirants. Telugu actor Sai Dharam Tej, who suffered injuries in a road accident, is stable and all his vital organs are functioning well, the hospital where he is undergoing treatment said on Saturday. He will remain in ICU for close monitoring and additional investigations will be performed during the day, the Apollo Hospital said in a statement. Tej, nephew of superstar Chiranjeevi, sustained injuries after his sports bike skidded at Madhapur in the city on Friday night. He was wearing a helmet at the time of the accident, police said. Tej has delivered hits like Supreme. Marriages can be registered in the virtual presence of parties, the Delhi High Court has ruled, saying that in the present time, citizens cannot be prevented from exercising their rights because of a rigid interpretation of law which calls for personal presence. Hearing a plea by a US-based Indian couple seeking to register their marriage here through video conferencing, Justice Rekha Pali opined that not treating physical presence as a mandatory requirement would also encourage parties to easily get their marriages registered. The Presidency University Students' Council withdrew its 96-hour sit-in after the varsity authorities agreed to free vaccination of all students. PUSC office bearer Adraja Adak told PTI on Saturday the authorities issued a notice promising to start free vaccination at the earliest at the campus in collaboration with the state government. Since free vaccination of every student was prerequisite to begin any on-campus academic activity, this was the main demand of the agitating students, which has been accepted by the administration of the state university, and hence the sit-in at the portico was withdrawn after 96 hours on Friday evening. The controversial love and narcotic jihad remarks by Pala Bishop Joseph continued to trigger ripples in Kerala's political circles as the BJP accused the CPI and the Congress of supporting jihadis, while the latter warned against Sangh Parivar agenda to destroy Christian-Muslim harmony in the state. Amid mounting criticism, the Pala diocese under the prominent Syro Malabar Church came out with an explanation saying that the bishop did not intend to hurt anyone and his remarks were not against any particular community. He only gave a warning about the dangerous trends prevalent in society, Mar Jacob Murkin, the auxiliary bishop of the diocese, said in a statement. A Rajput court on Friday granted bail to Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupendra Bagel's father Nandkumar Bagel, who was arrested earlier this week for allegedly making objectionable remarks against the Brahmin community. The 86-year-old Bagel Sr. was arrested on Tuesday. He did not seek bail then, and the court remanded him in judicial custody for 15 days. Later, his lawyer Gajendra Sonkar moved a bail application and sought urgent hearing. After hearing arguments, Judicial Magistrate First Class Janakumar Hitko granted him bail today, Sonkar said. After spending 3 days in jail, Nandkumar Bagel walked out of the prison in the evening. The case was lodged on September 4th at the DD Nagar police station on a complaint filed by the Sarv Brahmin Samaj. Chief Minister Bagel had strongly disapproved of the remarks allegedly made by his father and said nobody is above law. The health department sealed a private hospital in Muzaffarnagar allegedly for lack of a license and arrested 2 people, officials said. They said the action was taken after a health department team conducted a raid at City Hospital last evening when the owner allegedly failed to produce a proper license to run the medical facility. City Magistrate Abhishek Kumar Singh said a team led by Drugs Inspector Lavkush Kumar checked the hospital and also seized medicines worth lakhs of rupees. The owner failed to show any document authorizing him to run a hospital, he said, adding 2 employees of the facility have been arrested. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, facing possible defeat in a snap September 20th election on Friday, defended his decision to call the election early and said his main rival would undermine the fight against COVID-19. Trudeau, who heads a minority Liberal government that needs opposition support to pass legislation, had hoped Canadians would reward his handling of the coronavirus pandemic with a majority in the House of Commons. But polls show voters are unhappy that Trudeau, who has held power for 6 years, called the vote during a fourth wave of the pandemic. US health regulators said children in clinical trials testing COVID-19 vaccines should be monitored for at least 2 months for side effects, suggesting that the agency is considering a quicker path to authorize the shot for emergency use than full approval. The US Food and Drug Administration said on Friday it was looking to complete the data review as quickly as possible, likely in a matter of weeks rather than months.